Get ready for the dictation in 3, 2, 1, start. This provision is intended to facilitate the rehabilitation of orphaned, abandoned, or surrendered children. Stop. The condition must apply to all persons, irrespective of religious affiliation, who seek to adopt children of that description. Stop. The object of rehabilitation and providing for social reintegration to orphaned, abandoned, or surrendered children is a matter of high legislative policy. Stop. It is in effectuation of that policy that the legislature has stipulated that adoption of such a child must proceed irrespective of the marital status of a person taking in adoption and irrespective of the number of living biological children of the parents seeking adoption. Stop. Consequently, where the child which is sought to be adopted falls within the description of an orphaned, abandoned, or surrendered child within the meaning of subsection 2 of section 41, or a child in need of care and protection under clause D of section 2, the provisions of the Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children Act 2000 must prevail. Stop. In such a case, the embargo that is imposed on adopting a child of the same sex by a Hindu under clause 1 and 2 of section 11 of the Hindu Adoptions and Maintenance Act 1956 must give way to the salutary provisions made by the Juvenile Justice Act. Stop. Where, however, the child is not of a description falling under the purview of Chapter 4 of the Juvenile Justice Act 2000. A Hindu desirous of adoption a child continues to be under the embargo imposed by clause 1 and 2 of section 11 of the Act of 1956. Stop. If the two pieces of legislation, both of which are enacted by Parliament, are harmoniously construed, there is no conflict of interpretation. Stop. Resolution of conflicting provisions. The alternate hypothesis. Stop. Para. Alternatively, even if there were to be a conflict between the provisions of the Hindu Adoptions and Maintenance Act 1956 and the Juvenile Justice Act of 2000, it is the latter act which would prevail. Stop. This is one on the well settled principle that when there are two special acts dealing with the same subject matter, the legislation which has been enacted subsequently should prevail. Stop. The Supreme Court applied this principle in the context of a conflict between the Companies Act 1956 and the Recovery of Debts Due to Banks and Financial Institutions Act 1993 in its decision in Allahabad Bank versus Canara Bank 2004 SCC 406 AIR 2000 SC 1535. Stop. Where a latter enactment does not expressly amend, whether textually or indirectly, an earlier enactment which it has power to override, but the provisions of the latter enactment are inconsistent with those of the earlier, the latter by implication amends the earlier so far as is necessary to remove the inconsistency between them. Stop. Bennion on Statutory Interpretation, 5th edition 2008. Stop para. Here, the 1956 Act prohibits a Hindu from adopting a child when he or she already has a child of the same gender, and the 2000 Act creates a general right to adopt abandoned, surrendered, or orphaned children. Stop. While there is a presumption against implied amendment or repeal under Indian law, the Supreme Court has recognized that this presumption may be rebutted where the inconsistency cannot be reconciled. Stop. Municipal Council Palai versus T.J. Joseph AIR 1963 SC 1561 1564. Stop. If the 2000 Act is held to be inconsistent with the 1956 Act, when passing the latter Act, Parliament impliedly amended the Hindu Adoptions and Maintenance Act 1956 to permit adoption of children in the specified subclass irrespective of whether a person has children of the same sex. Stop para. In Rajan Mittal and another Supra, High Court of Punjab and Haryana, while relying on the decision of Bombay High Court in Payal Elias, Sharaini, Vinay Pathak and another 2010 1 AIR Bombay Region 327 Supra reiterated the same principle that the Act of 1956 and the Act of 2000 must be harmoniously construed and held. Stop. Thank you.